This is Continuecast.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Continuecast. My name's Paul.
I'm Nick.
I'm Josh.
And today we have with us another special guest. And who is it?
It's me, Luke Brown.
It's Luke Brown! You're always coming back, man.
Wow,
You're a good guy.
Glad to be here. Glad the fans haven't stopped listeing.
It's really nice
since
that
I came on the show.
It's really nice that you'll spend this much time with us.
Well, it helps that I live in your closet.
That's true. This month, we are going to be playing Star Tropics for the NES.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a game that a lot of people have been talking about for a while for us to play.
Yeah,
And I'm
most
really
voted.
Yeah, fan voted, most
Yes.
voted.
Yeah, you guys decided this. It was a narrow victory over, what was it, Legend of Mana for the PlayStation?
Mhm.
One of them
Yeah.
games, I don't know.
One of them manas. Real quick for people who are just joining for us for the first time, in this show we play one game a month and we do 2 episodes of the podcast, so it'll be every 2 weeks. And on the first episode of the month, we talk about our feelings, our first impressions of the game that we just played, and then the second episode is sort of our wrap-up and final verdict. So this is going to be our first episode about Star Tropics, so we're going to dive right in and give you guys our first impressions. But also remember, we want you guys to email us your thoughts, play along with us. This is sort of like a book club for games. Be sure to, right now, while you're listening, you could get the game out on a ROM or on, if you have the actual game, that's great. Sit down and start playing it and play along with us just so you can see what we're talking about, get a little context.
Yeah, and I know a lot of you guys want, like, either footage of us, doing the podcast or, gameplay footage. We don't want to do that. We want you guys to use this time to play the game, listen to us talking to you right now. Bring up another window, get a ROM if you can, if that's
We're not endorsing it.
I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but you could do it.
It's
or get the
really
actual
easy.
game, because you're on the internet already. But do that, and play the game along with us because, especially with this first episode, because we're kind of like stumbling through what the game is all about. Meanwhile, you're doing the same thing while you're playing the game.
Right. And there's tons of Let's Plays out there, so go turn one of those on and turn their volume off.
Yeah.
Hey-o! Hi-yo!
Yeah, I guess that's like the worst case. It's like
I'm just joking about that.
I
Don't
know,
do
but
that,
like
people.
you could do that, but like come on, man, like actually play the game with us. This is like
Yeah.
a cool thing. Like we're playing these games and you're playing these games. Let's all experience it together.
Exactly. So let's dive in. Let's dive into Star Tropics.
Whoa, hold on, Paul.
Whoa. I almost forgot.
You forgot about our
part.
special sponsor for
That's
this
right.
month.
That's right. Today's episode is once again brought to you by Monster Rehab.
Did you hear that little skip?
Refresh, rehydrate, revive.
This week is brought to you by Monster Rehab. It's like fucking episode 1 at the pod race.
It was like the guy that was like, it was like
Greg Proops? Really? Really?
no. I was gonna
I am
say
never coming on this
I was
show
gonna
again.
I was gonna say
You
you're like
just
the dude.
called me the continue version of Greg Proops.
Josh did.
I did.
I was gonna say you're like the dude from Nickelodeon's. What was that game show?
Good, you can't even remember.
I can't remember the game show. Not Guts.
Double Dare?
Double Dare. The guy who was the
Mark
guy's name?
Summers, he's dead.
No, not Mark Summers.
He's dead to me anyway. Hate that guy.
What was the guy's name that did the? Jeez, that's Nick Murphy drinking. What was the guy that gave out the prizes or announced the prizes? He had a name. He had a very specific name. It's like Hank.
Well, everyone has a very specific name.
No, it was Mark Summers. There was a chick.
His name was a.
Summer Sanders.
Summer Sanders. Yeah.
I'll tell you this much.
She
His name
she
was a
not
proper
on Double
noun.
Dare, though.
His
They
name,
shot.
his name was a proper noun. Okay.
That's true. They shot in the summer.
Harvey.
Harvey.
Wow.
Was it?
His name was Harvey. Yeah.
That's an
There it is.
unbelievable.
recall.
Later went on to form the band Harvey Danger.
We were just talking about that.
Also, he was
listen to that Harvey Danger.
Also, he made a
album.
Harvey Wallbanger cake one time.
also he was the cousin to Paul from the Wonder Years.
You mean-
who was also Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how he got his
True fact,
record deal.
True fact, dude.
Okay, so
Remember before the internet when that was like shit you would believe?
yeah.
You were just like, oh, yo, you know what
I tried to start a post-internet one where I tried to say turtle was donkey lips.
Yeah,
Turtle from
I remember
Entourage,
that.
Struggling.
Dude, if I didn't have the internet, I'd believe the fuck
You
out
would
of
believe
that.
that, dude.
You're
I tried,
goddamn right.
I know. I
would.
tried to start
Before
that.
the internet, when people believed that. Yes.
Wasn't there like a rumor that Ferguson killed himself?
He should have. Fuck that
Oh
kid.
wow.
He's dead right
He's
now.
not like him because he's a redhead. He gave
Dude.
redheads a bad name.
He does give redheads a bad name.
People Josh Henderson hates Ferguson, Mark Summers,
Mark Summers, Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
I hate Will Wheaton.
Wow.
Dude, I hope Ferguson gave Will Wheaton AIDS.
So you like?
Yo, here's a list of the things that I hate. Tangents. Let's get back to the game.
All right, yeah.
All right, good
Like your
call.
style. All right, so we're gonna go into Star Tropics for the NES. Before I get started, I just want to go all. You know what? Let me go through the vitals of the game. Vital stats of this game, released in 1990 for
Okay.
the NES by Nintendo.
Cool.
4 years after Zelda, so this had a lot of time percolating after Zelda, and I think we can all agree that it was definitely influenced by Zelda.
Yeah, after the
little
first Zelda or
The first Zelda,
Okay,
yeah, Legend
gotcha.
of Zelda. It was developed by Nintendo's their like segment called IRD, which is actually their research and development department.
Isn't that a female contraceptive?
That's an IUD.
Oh, gotcha.
That's the rhythm method.
Part of the game is there's a mini game about the pullout.
So it's their R&D department who have been responsible for things such as the Wavebird, the
Oh,
Wii Zapper,
cool.
the Wii Steering Wheel. Specifically, this one guy who worked on this game, his name was Genyo Takeda.
So wait, he's working on hardware.
He's developing hardware for Nintendo, but in his spare time, he makes games.
That's kind of cool.
Listen to some of these other games that this guy made. Punch Out,
Terrible game.
Pilot Wing 64,
Awful.
Ice Hockey,
Oh, yeah.
Ice
No,
Hockey,
the worst game.
Pro Wrestling.
Very terrible.
All games that are atrocious.
Yep.
No, all games
No,
that I
that's cool,
love.
man.
Yeah,
Ice
great
hockey's
games.
great. Yeah.
Great games,
Yeah.
man. Like amazing games.
I have a
well done.
fondness for ice hockey.
Yeah, ice hockey's great.
That's all
Well,
the shit.
you know, because I killed you that
Shut
time.
up. Let's not talk about that. Let us never speak of that night again.
Praise be.
I was actually legitimately very angry after that.
You were.
Well, we were all
Not with you, but with myself.
We were all drunk too.
Yeah.
And you
I
guys-
wasn't.
You weren't.
No,
That's why you beat me.
I had to drive myself
Oh,
home that night.
That's right.
What we're talking about is that we had a 12-hour live stream and we had a tournament of ice hockey, and somehow Luke beat me.
Dude, it was great. It was like the Cold War.
It was the Cold War.
Through sheer force of will and awesomeness.
Yeah. But this guy made a lot of really great games in his spare time. He made the Wavebird, which is like one of the greatest controllers
Yeah.
ever made.
Which
Pretty
one's
awesome.
that one?
It was the wireless GameCube controller.
Oh, okay.
It was great. It was awesome. It was like
Yeah.
the perfect shape for you.
Yeah.
It was like the 360 controller before the 360 controller was around,
Yeah.
and it was better than it.
Yeah, it was like the size of a basketball.
Let's not say
The
things that
360
aren't
controller was
true.
really good. I know.
Interface with your mind.
Dude, it was a great controller. Wii Zapper, meh.
Yeah, not so much.
Wii Steering Wheel, meh.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for one game.
Well, the Wii Zapper is just a piece of plastic you plug the Wii controller into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
on that end, great design work.
Great design work, yeah.
Yeah, it's great for first-person shooters. I mean,
that are abundantly on that
There.
system.
on Wii,
There.
that's
Yeah.
what they're known for.
But
First-person shooters.
but there's a lot of really cool stuff that he made, but it's also cool that he was able to make all these really great games
no, dude, it's
in
awesome.
his spare time, you know?
It's like great that for this guy to have like a great career.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he's like, oh, and I made this awesome shit on the side.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
very cool.
So that's a little bit of the rundown of the game. Time to beat for this game, about 10 hours.
Wow,
So it's definitely
really?
it's definitely beatable
Yeah,
for
I
all
can
of us
see
within
that.
this
I can
this
see
month.
Oh yeah, you got the feel almost immediately after starting it that it was very short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Nintendo game.
Oh, I was saying 10 hours, like that's a long ass time.
Really? Oh, well, I mean, in our busy lives.
yeah, exactly. I was like,
Nick sleeps
10 hours?
35 minutes a night.
Dude, after Shadowrun, this is gonna feel like
I'm gonna beat this game for next time.
drop in the water.
Shadowrun
yeah.
was 30 hours.
I know, that's what I mean.
Which is
After
like a
sh-
modern game.
Well, it's like a game.
Yeah.
You know, but 10,
Well, yeah, I guess a lot of RPGs for Super Nintendo were like 30-hour games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, compared to Shadowrun, this is a
Right.
short title. But yeah, so
There's
10
less
hours-
letters in it.
There's less letters in it. I don't know if
Probably
there are.
isn't.
Let's just assume that that's true.
They're probably like the exact same number of letters. which-
probably fewer David Lynch references.
a lot
And
fewer.
hardly any Blade Runner at all.
No.
Like zero Blade Runner, and I was really looking forward to
Unless
some more
Blade Runner goes
talk.
on vacation.
Did I go Blade Runner
Blade
goes
Runner
to the
At the end
beach?
of the movie.
Did I just
Blade
call
Runner.
Blade Runner?
Yeah, you got really.
Blade Runner.
Dude.
That's
The
from
racism.
the movie.
Yeah,
Not racist.
I didn't make that up.
Yeah, you know who you sound like? You sound like the Asian guy from Blade Runner.
Wow. That's what the guy says.
It's not our fault he's Asian and has an Asian voice.
We didn't direct him to have that Asian voice.
This is getting really racist for me.
Yeah, we're getting.
Sorry, we love Asians. Before we even get started, when you first start this game and you first get into the village, I didn't even notice this, but Shane F wrote in and says, was it just me or did you guys notice that butthole in the pig in the first village?
No, hang on,
noticed the same thing.
hang on. It doesn't do it until after
Till
you talk
you
to
talk-
the
Yeah, you
pig.
talk to it.
I wrote the only note I wrote for this show in my mind was
Pig
pig
butthole.
butthole. Pig butthole. I swear to God.
I have it right here. Talk to pig, shows you his asshole.
Yep.
And it's so weird that they took the time
To
to
put-
render
Yeah.
To pixel art.
to pixel art. I say
a button.
render, but I
No,
mean
no,
it's
but
really
I just
just
wanted to-
1/8, by 8-bit
just-
little
yeah.
A
little
block.
thing to signify now you're looking at this pig's butt.
Yeah, like they could have done like
A tail.
yes,
The
the
tail was
squiggly
there.
line.
The tail was there
Was
too.
the tail
on the
there?
top?
I didn't talk to
I
the
was
pig, so I
focusing
didn't
on the
see this.
butthole
Yeah,
so
there was
much
a
I didn't
tail.
notice.
Yeah, he had the tail, and then he turns around, and there's that one dot staring at you.
Yeah.
The old, and it's a brown dot.
The old. Yep. Dude, I'm a
The old
vegetarian.
8-bit brown eye.
eyeball.
I'm a vegetarian, but that pig butthole made me think twice about eating meat again. I was like, that looks delicious.
I'm gonna get some pork ass tonight.
Yeah.
Fried pork asses.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Real quick, I also want to say that Shane F's YouTube name is the best YouTube name ever. Mandy Moore Fan 14.
Dude,
Oh my God.
that kid
Oh,
wins.
man.
That's a great.
That's
That's a great
awesome.
YouTube name.
Awesome. I hope he has the album hand in my pocket.
Is that one of her albums?
Yes.
Luke's Mandy Moore fan 15.
Well, she's on. She's a voice on Tron Uprising.
Oh, really? Is she on there? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
She's very attractive.
Did you ever see Saved? She's really good in that movie.
Yeah, that's a good
That
movie.
was good.
Never saw that.
She was good on Entourage.
Oh, yeah, she was good on Entourage.
She
So,
was. She was
She
great.
played herself.
She played Sasha Grey.
She played Sasha Grey.
Yeah, so like real quick, when you first come into that first village, right? You start the game up after you see the pig butthole, which is what you initially see. If you talk to everybody in the town, like 10 people tell you, "Oh, you must be Mike Jones, ace baseball player."
Dude, that was
Ace-
Mike
Ace
Jones.
pitcher.
Jones.
Why?
Mike Jones.
Why do I have to type my name into the save file if you're
not
gonna
even-
call me
Yeah.
Mike Jones?
Yeah, you're not even gonna use it. I'm Bacon Dick. Why could I not? Which has an even bigger meaning
of the
to me
pig
because of
butthole.
the pig butthole
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like imagine if they were calling me Bacon Dick after I talked to that pig butthole.
I know.
Dude.
Could have had all types of
Plus,
implicit
I mean,
meanings.
it's you kind of think it's now we are trained by these games to talk to everything
Yeah,
and
yeah.
push
Right.
buttons and everything. But back in the day, you didn't really know how to do that unless you were a super like RPG
Right.
nut.
And had Nintendo
so
power.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like it's kind of like a secret thing because who's gonna go talk to the pig? Pigs can't speak.
I know
It's
that's
just there.
silly.
And the one lady says we're
Well,
gonna cook it, right?
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh, okay, well, whatever. But your mindset is like, go talk to everything. And you talk to the pig, and it turns around. And it's like, show me the asshole.
You want this, don't you?
I can feel your anger.
Well, you know what? Let's start with story because I have some stuff to talk about too.
All right.
Do it.
Which it's funny that you bring that up because I was like super exposition. They just lay it all out there right
Yeah.
away. First person you talk to pretty much is just like, oh, you're the ace pitcher. We know about you on this deserted tropic island. You know, like
Go find your doctor, Dr.
Yeah.
Jones.
His uncle.
Or his uncle,
Dr.
his uncle.
J,
Dr. J.
Yeah, they don't
famous
say it,
Philadelphia
yeah.
basketball
Yeah.
player,
Yeah.
Dr. J.
Vacationing in Sea Island.
Yeah. No, dude, how badass is this? You are an ace pitcher whose father is a secret scientist who has a laboratory
On a tropical island.
on a tropical island. That's badass.
Oh, I
pretty
thought it was
badass.
his uncle.
It's his uncle.
It's his uncle?
It's his uncle.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I messed up my next joke.
Well,
Well, no,
I
but
thought,
still.
I thought I was thinking it was wrong when you said father.
Well,
but-
in Mike Jones' defense, his dad is like an alcoholic. He's kind of like the black sheep of the family.
Right.
So that's why Dr. Jones is like, here, you can be my secret son.
Ah,
You
it's like an
know?
Italian
Oh,
thing.
Right,
secret
right,
son.
exactly.
Took him under the
He was,
wing.
he was his confirmation.
Secret
Yeah.
son. They were hanging out on the down low.
With the uncle.
Well, before we get into it, well, actually, all right, let's go over story first.
All right.
You and the whole layout. So start, Nick.
I think it starts out pretty nicely. It's just kind of like there's like a black text that comes on the screen, and it's just like on some shitty island somewhere, you visiting your Dr. J.
Coca-Cola Island.
Coca-Cola. You're from Americola Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just Americola in general. And yeah, I mean, it starts off. It's very linear to start out, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole game's pretty linear.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. That's it. That's all I think.
That's all. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I thought this was like a game like Jimmy Buffett fans would really enjoy.
Oh, dude, it's
There's
very,
lots
very tropical.
of tropics, parrot heads.
Well, then you talk to that cheeseburger. It's like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
What are you doing in paradise, cheeseburger? I gotta tell you, for a nation that doesn't have any TVs, radios, or technology other than the secret laboratory, and which we'll talk about later, how they know about baseball and that you're a star pitcher. Who apparently, if you can throw a fastball, means you can wield a mean yo-yo.
You're brave. Take this yo-yo.
You're brave guy. Take this yo-yo. It's like, hang on, what am I, Ness? Like, give me a break here.
Dude, he's like, island yo-yo. Very powerful.
I know.
Very powerful.
At first
Very powerful juju. This yo-yo.
He hands it to me at first, and I'm like, yo-yo, you serious, bro? And then the second later, they're like, no. It's a powerful island yo-yo. Trust us.
Very powerful.
Very powerful.
Is that a thing? Island dwellers?
Island
is that
yo-yo?
what they do?
Yeah.
And hang on.
You saw the Brady Bunch where they had the tiki god.
Yeah. The missionary symbolism where they all look to the cross.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
the Southern Cross. Yeah.
Oh my
right.
God, I didn't even
Which is
realize
like,
that.
come on, guys.
Yeah.
Like it's
Whoa.
this game is such Christian propaganda.
It's so heavy-handed.
It's so heavy-handed. It's over the top.
We misplaced our scientist. Oh, we'll look to religion.
Exactly. That is exactly what's happening in this game.
There's some deep undercurrents in this
There
game.
are, and leave it to Nintendo to sneak that kind of brainwashing into the youth of America, which is how we're in the situation we're in today.
These Japanese putting their Judeo-Christian beliefs on us. I know what they believe in over there.
A listener, Christopher Traslavina. I just butchered your name, and I'm sorry.
Christopher Transylvania.
That's what I read.
I wanted to say it as that too, but that's what it'll be from now on. Wrote in about some great English. I miss Cola 1990.
Dude,
Do you
I
think
wrote
I'm
that
pretty?
And then
What?
later in the game, when you go to the other island, it's like I miss whatever this other island's name, and it's like, who's prettier? And you're like, I don't fucking know. But look the fucking.
You both
same
are
to
made
me.
of 8 pixels. That's
It's like, hang on, turn around and let me decide
Yeah.
for
Let me
myself.
see your pig
Let
butthole.
me
Let me
see
see your
pig
pig
butt.
butthole. There it is. Let me sniff your panties. That's,
What?
That's what the
That's
Japanese.
an option you get.
They have vending machines.
That is a common misconception
Crosses,
about Japanese
women's
culture.
underwear.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was really funny that they had that. I like that when you're this world famous pitcher apparently, and everybody knows about you on the island, and then you go up to the dude with the blue spiked helmet who's like guarding the door to the thing, and he's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah, man.
And it's like, well, you know what? Who are you? Because apparently no one else in this town cared to tell you who I was.
I'm Mike fucking Jones, bitch.
I'm looking for a dime. That's top of the line. That's me, motherfucker. I did that.
I wrote that song. I am also ace pitcher.
Yeah, so I mean, this story is what it is. I mean, it's a Nintendo game. I was expecting, everyone's calling it like this action RPG, so I was expecting a little bit more of like an actual story, but it's sort of just pushing you along. I will say though that that when we got to the second island, I was a little creeped out by the lighthouse owner, because you go up there and he's like,
Go
"Oh."
visit my wife.
Yeah, dude. He says it to me, and I'm like, you propositioning me, bro? Or are you
Yeah.
tang to get me to bang your wife?
Yeah.
Did you guys all think that?
Yeah, dude, I wrote it down. You walk into the lighthouse, and the guy's like, "Hey, can you go visit my wife? She gets kind of lonely." And like, if you read the subtext there, he's just like, "Hey, welcome to the island. Please fuck my wife, because I'm too busy guarding this lighthouse shit,
Also-
preventing boats from crashing in here. Take care of my wife. She's a woman with needs."
And I care about her that much.
I'm also ironically in charge of a big phallic object, but I can't get a boner.
I mean, I could get boners, but I have nothing to do with them.
Look, I mean, if you put like a light on my dick, I can know what to do,
Yeah.
but I don't got that.
And honestly, can we get to the real heart of the matter here? Who believes that a guy living in a lighthouse can't see the dolphins?
I know.
Yeah.
Am I right? Am I
Very
right?
true.
You can stand on the beach and see a dolphin.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
done it.
Also, who is powering that lighthouse?
I
There's no
don't-
power. I
Well,
don't see no
wanna know-
generators.
I want to know, if he's so concerned about his wife, why did he leave her in a shitty little shack with
Yeah,
just
why
2
does-
chairs and a table in it and nothing else?
When I was married, that's where I leave my wife.
That's right.
Am I right, guys?
Hey-o.
Saddest high five ever.
I'm never getting married.
But you're right. There are a lot of questions about Lighthouse Island. Also, what else is on the island besides the lighthouse and a
Rocks,
single room?
Mountains, yeah.
They're just protecting these people from this shitty island. Why don't they just blow it up? Because apparently they got the powers to do that.
That took me a while.
What?
Figuring out that you can walk through some mountains.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah,
We'll get to that. And, I mean, that's it about story. I mean, whatever. Also, Babu.
What the fuck is Babu?
Who's Babu?
Babu's the guy after you get through the first temple, first dungeon, you like walk out and he's like, "Hi, I'm Babu.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm your uncle's assistant. I keep calling him my father.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have
man.
father issues." As Mike Jones, I have father issues. But I was like, Babu. I was like, that is the most racist Islander name I've ever heard in my entire
No,
life.
dude, he's just like
It's only
I'm-
racist if you look at it in that
I'm
perspective.
racist
Yeah.
because
It's
I
not
think of
racist when you're on the island.
that. No.
He's like, I'm your uncle's fuck buddy. I will show you whatever you need to go. He's lost, and I don't have a fuck buddy anymore.
I love that.
so-
I love that. Like your uncle built like a submarine with a robot too that just to input codes into, and then like his codes are like really American, like 1776.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it too because like
1492.
Yeah.
Password accepted. You can now drive. Like, what?
Dude, yeah, he's like, I made this robot, or I made this submarine that goes underwater with a robot that pilots it. Also, talk to dolphins. P.S. I'm not going to accept the Nobel Prize. I'm just going to live on this shitty island. Like that guy should be like America's most prized possession. Maybe that's why all his codes are 1492 and
he's the guy.
1776.
He's the guy who invented the Sequest submarine.
Oh,
that
shit.
spoke to
Darwin.
Darwin.
Dude.
And he invented DSV.
Yeah.
And then Mike Jones hung himself.
Rip
And Rodney Dangerfield said he couldn't get no respect.
Brandis.
Too bad, Jonathan Brandis.
I actually thought Jonathan Brandis was kind of attractive as a woman in that movie.
Dude, who
Didn't?
Okay.
I'm gonna say that. I'm okay.
All right, let's move on to gameplay now. So gameplay. Let's start with Josh. Josh, you can do it.
Well, like what, controls and stuff? Or
No,
what?
gameplay. Like I guess somewhat controls. I think gameplay and controls go.
I wanted
hand
to
in
talk
hand.
about the controls.
Yeah, we'll talk about those together. So yeah.
Okay, I did not like them at first.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if it's because we have what do you call them? Controllers, the emulator.
We have like a
controller.
SNES version.
Yeah, I don't know
controllers.
if it's that or what, but like up was not up sometimes. Jumping was weird.
Wait, up was not up
What are you
sometimes.
talking about? You just programmed the controller.
No, I did
yourself.
it. No, I did all that, but it didn't. I don't. Maybe I have like a fuck. I wanted
I know
to ask
what-
you guys if you had.
I know
that
what you mean.
problem.
Sometimes if you, with the controllers that we're playing with, if you like roll from like right
Yeah.
to up, it doesn't always like
doesn't
register.
do
You
it.
kind of have to be like,
Oh yeah.
right, up,
Yeah.
like that. I kind of figured, yeah.
A
That's the way
few
it was
times
for
I
me.
couldn't jump away from the boss's fire, the first
Right.
dungeon, because like I couldn't
get
do
it.
it.
You know, honestly, I've been playing these games on my DS. I've
Oh,
been transferring to that.
that's
and it's
cool.
actually awesome.
That's
and
really
the
sweet.
controls are
That's
really
really
nice
cool.
on there. Yeah. Anyways, keep going.
Besides that, like I mean, it took me a while to figure out that you could jump and do the yo-yo, which is like the only thing you need to do, really.
Right.
Yeah, because you get those power ups, but you don't really use them that often.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's all right. It's just a little squirrely for me, like
Yeah.
playing it wise. I don't know.
It's a little slow to react. Even with on the DS, it was a little slow to react.
It's
Yeah.
super. It's Zelda. It's Zelda,
Yeah.
but like not as.
Yeah, you're on a
fluid.
grid and
Yeah.
everything.
Right. Well, and also too, like the one thing I really kind of like didn't like was that you pick up these kind of like sub weapons, and you have like a limited amount to where like how much you can use. I can understand something that's like expendable,
Right.
but like I got like a bat at one point, and it's like,
Yeah.
hey, you only get a certain amount of swings, then you lose a bat. Sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Like that didn't make sense to me.
The
But
torches made sense.
yeah, torches made sense. You're like, oh, you're gonna run out of fire.
Right.
I ran out of fire. But I mean, I like that. But then the shitty thing is, so like you don't get to take those from like level to level, and
Yeah.
if you die,
They're
you
gone.
lose them.
And you can't go back into the level and
Yeah.
grab them again. Yeah.
The doors like close behind you and shit.
Yeah, I don't like that.
What about you, Luke? How did you feel about it?
I don't know. It felt like a very old Nintendo game. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, after going down to from the like way overly complicated controls of Shadowrun,
Right.
I was like, sweet, awesome, jump, attack.
Yeah.
It was
got
yeah,
it.
it was very
Like,
refreshing. Yeah.
Very, very easy. You know, boss patterns very
Yeah.
simple to figure out.
Right.
Like, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of mystery to this game, even though there are like secret passages you have to find while exploring. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot to this game that leaves a lot that you can't figure out.
Right.
Yo,
Absolutely.
but it's tricky sometimes because in that first dungeon, right?
I know
Like,
exactly what
dude,
you're
you
talking
start
about.
you start
Yeah.
like unlocking some. You're like, oh man, secret door here.
Yep.
And then you go and you're like, oh shit, to the right is another one.
Yep.
And then there's one above it, and you're like, oh my god, they
I'm
just
gonna
keep
jump
going. There's
in
one
there.
more.
Yeah.
So you go to the next screen. So when you get to the top of the screen, everything kind of pauses and like the next screen kind of comes down, and you kind of like jump into the next like area
Right.
room kind of thing. So in this one, you go from like this thing and you get this potion, and then you jump to the next like screen, and it's a water room.
It's
a
like
room
a
full of
slurry
water.
dead
Yeah.
bodies.
And
You're
there's just like
just dead.
and you're just dead, and it's like you died.
Instant death. You didn't get to that?
I
There's
didn't find
no-
that
there's
secret.
nowhere-
yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't.
Well, no, but you get two potion things, and that's good.
Yeah, but if you die, then you lose them.
A listener, Renato Vargas, wrote in about that exact same thing, and he's like, "You're basically being punished for being a greedy bastard." I mean, you are.
No, it's true. You're
are.
like, I got 2. This is never gonna end.
Because they're in the exact the door, like the secret switch to open the next door to the next secret room is in the exact same spot both times. So it's like you're like, oh, this is just gonna keep going. It's the exact same like copy of a room, and then you do it the third time, boom,
Yeah.
you're dead.
you know.
So it teaches you.
It teaches you.
Yeah. Well,
It
and
teaches
also
you
it's
to
like
be aware.
Yes.
it's that subtext we were
But I
talking about
didn't find
before. You know, like I think that because when this game kind of came around, you know, we got those 2 potions. You know, it's almost like 2 decades of good fortune, and then things kind of took a turn for the worse, and everything kind of went to shit, and you got to start over and rebuild.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we are right now with the economy.
I like.
you know,
I like.
There's that subtext again.
that's good subtext.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's strange how they knew.
Yeah. They were like, you know what? In 20 years, shit's gonna go kind of rough.
Well, this guy is research and development,
That's
so
true.
he was
Right.
looking into the
I mean,
future.
and I get if you look back at what Reaganomics started,
Right.
you could easily predict
we're
today's patterns.
in it.
That's
now.
true.
yeah.
We're in the thick of Reaganomics.
You invent the Wavebird, you also invent a time travel viewing device. That's the thing.
They didn't give that one out yet.
No.
That's coming out on Wii U.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need 2 screens for it.
Riley McDaniel writes in, it's not like Castlevania where you can memorize patterns and enemy placements. No, shit just happens at random. I know I seem to be complaining a bunch, but I felt had the game had a larger learning curve, I would have been patient with it. I agree to a certain extent. I think that the first dungeon is a pretty difficult dungeon in certain areas.
Really?
It's not really hard, but I died a lot, like trial and error at first, because I was like, because there's no real like combat to test like your combat right away.
Right.
You know, like as soon as you're in it, you're in the dungeon. I agree. The first 4 rooms are pretty simple.
Right.
I don't totally agree with him about not being able to memorize patterns though, because every enemy, as soon as you enter the room, moves in the same way every
Right.
time. So you can kind of like speed run your way through the rooms after a
Yeah.
couple of deaths.
When it takes a
Um,
second to learn some of the enemies thing, like the
Yeah.
snakes, I was kind of like, it took me a second to realize that you can jump over them when they go and
Right.
attack and stuff.
And
which
it's a
is
little
nice.
randomized with his when he breathes the flames and stuff like
Right.
that. Like his like movements aren't randomized, but
Yeah.
the pattern of what he does isn't randomized. But the actual when he opens his mouth, it's random how
Right,
many times
right,
he
right.
opens it and
Right.
stuff like that. So that's a little random.
It is nice that they teach you the gameplay mechanics pretty early on in those dungeons, because I remember like this really long. You get in this room that's kind of like 2 screens long, and like you go to the bottom part of it, and then you have to kind of like loop back around, and the top part is all those blocks that you have to jump across. And I
Yeah.
think that's when you realize that like when you step on some of them,
Right.
that foot pattern comes up and it unlocks like a switch somewhere
different
else.
switch, yeah.
So yeah, that's you get an idea of like what how those mechanics work, and then on top of that you understand your jumping mechanics. Like you can
Right.
jump 1 block apart.
right,
You know.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's it. You can't do more.
That's
No,
it.
you can't do
You
more.
can't do 2.
You might be an all-star pitcher.
No.
You are not
No.
an all-star
You ain't
long
got those,
jumper.
you ain't got
You
those
have,
legs, man.
You have no vertical, and you have no horizontal jump.
No, not at all, dude.
It's too bad you couldn't throw your yo-yo thing at
Oh
things.
my
grappling
god,
hook.
dude, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Like a hook shot.
Yeah, like a hook shot.
Zelda.
Speaking of Zelda, this game when I first went into that dungeon, I was like,
Yeah.
Zelda.
Mhm.
I was like, yep, you could see the Zelda like right on. It wears the Zelda right out on its sleeve,
But
and that's
immediately
okay.
it wasn't like, oh well, this right here is a Zelda game.
No,
I
it's like a
wasn't
nice
mad.
change.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. There's a nice little different kind of thing to it.
Yeah, you could tell he enjoyed Zelda.
Right.
And I don't know when the second Zelda came out.
I don't know.
I was,
Internet, go.
Was it? Yeah, could you look that
I'll
up first,
look it
Josh?
up.
I don't know when it came out, but I don't. This seems like it was more of a spiritual successor to Zelda than Zelda 2 to me.
Right.
Because 2 was such a different. You know my feelings on 2. I'm not going to go into this,
Right.
but it was like it felt so different. It feels like this was almost more of like a logical next step
Right.
for
right.
it. Like he was like, oh, I really like that. Let me advance it some.
Yeah, it's
It
kind of
wasn't
like
as good as Zelda, but
right, but that like this would be like the next logical step where you're like, hey, that dungeon part's great, but there should be like an overworld where you talk to people and stuff like that, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what Zelda 2 did, but not.
1988.
1988. So this came out after 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe
It
he was
felt like
like,
that a lot,
hey,
though,
the other parts in Zelda kind of suck. The overworld's all right.
Yeah.
Let's go back to regular Zelda.
Yeah. And he did it right.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Success.
Whoops, I said it again, Internet. And then I'm gonna read our a listener, Colt Tyler, wrote in. He's our good buddy.
Yeah, he's good.
And then he said, major key here, no matter where you go in combat or not, you have to look everywhere. And I mean literally in Chapter 2, there's a hidden pathway in the mountains in Island 2.
Yep.
They don't waste a block of space in this game. Like,
No.
there's no, like, areas that lead you down. Like, there are dead ends that kill you.
Right.
But like, on that island in the second chapter,
Right.
you gotta, like, use every little part of that to move through the island. Like, there's no, like... there's a couple, like, there's, like, one dead end, but they use, like, that entire island to, like, hide things and stuff like that. And, like, you have to really, like, walk everywhere and, like, walk against every wall, which can be kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it makes you OCD as hell because
Yeah.
you're like, oh, now I gotta walk down here and then you gotta
Right.
walk around shit. Like, yeah, I mean, it can be fun, but sometimes you're just like, oh, God.
Well, they do a good job of like teaching you the mechanics. Like,
Right.
you know, the lady, the lighthouse keeper's wife, after you're done like nailing her, she's like, "Oh, this bottle must have washed up on the shore. Let's go take a look at it." So you go on the beach, and you're like, "Oh shit, there's a bottle across from the beach." And like in the overworld, you can't do anything. You just kind of have to like you just walk around. So you see it across this beach that you can't get through because there's water in the middle. And then you realize if you hit like left against the mountain, you walk through this like secret passage kind of.
Right.
So they do a good job of showing
Mines
you.
of Moria.
Yeah.
I only realized that after she told me there were secret passages all over the island.
Oh, after you talk to her again? Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't understand how to get here. Like,
Yeah.
I was back in a submarine because you could see all those like wave things all over the place. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm supposed to do something with these.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
can't I do
exactly.
anything?
Yeah. But you haven't found the bottle yet, so
You haven't found the bottle yet, so
How
you didn't
annoyed
get
were
the
you?
code for 1776 to go submerge.
Like, how annoyed were you when you first saw it and you were like, I'm in a submarine and I can't goddamn submerge.
Submarine.
And your robot's like,
Exactly.
you don't know the fucking code, Paul.
It's like, I'm my uncle's I'm my uncle's grandson. My father's uncle's grandson's kid's nephew's roommate.
My God, what a horrible family tree.
I know.
I feel bad for Mike
Circle.
Jones' ace pitcher.
Circle.
Mike Jones.
Mike Jones.
But I'm his nephew. Give me the goddamn code, you stupid robot.
Yeah,
Damn
man.
I'm Mike Jones.
It's like Red October.
Yeah, dude, it is.
I-
Can't do anything else with the launch
I'm
codes.
gonna
Yeah.
just admit something right now.
Don't admit it.
Don't say it. Don't.
Just don't say it out loud. And
I love
don't
Wolfgang
say it
Peterson.
out.
I love Wolfgang Peterson.
There it
Alright?
is.
Okay, there you go.
There it is.
Nice save.
We can still continue to live this brutal lie.
Yo, here's my favorite part of the game, right? Here's my favorite part of the game. Once you finish the dungeon, right, you go back into the overworld, and this screen comes up, and it's like, wow, you've done it,
Yeah.
right? And then you hit, oh, okay, I did it. And you hit the button, and it's just like, points!
Yeah. You're like, what the hell?
I don't want points! What am I going to do with points?
Well, so you can know if you did better than me. I don't know how many points I have
That's
because
true.
I didn't memorize
I
it.
did
Yeah.
not pay attention to
That's
that
true.
at all.
You get more points for not dying in the slurry of bones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Slurry of bones.
Yeah, you can
Slurry.
beat the basilisk in one hit.
Dude,
He comes out and starts talking parcel tongue to you. 1446.
What's the name of the bone machine in that movie with Chevy Chase and Demi Moore?
Oh, Nothing But Trouble?
Nothing but trouble. What's the name of the
Machine. I don't
remember.
remember the name of the
The
machine.
Bone Machine.
I love that movie,
I don't
though.
remember.
That movie's great.
That's Pixie song too.
is it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, podcast.
All I
guys
remember
here.
from that movie is Fat Babies.
Fat Babies?
Fat Babies freak me out, man.
Dan
Dan
Aykroyd's
Aykroyd with
nose,
no nose.
dude.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh,
That's
don't.
fucked up.
Oh, that was messed up,
Dude,
dude.
Digital Underground shows up.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Tupac.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all
back when
around
Tupac
the
was
world,
in.
Was
Yeah.
same song.
Dude, I remember those babies. Those babies scarred me.
They're so creepy.
Scarred
Yeah,
me
they're fucked
as a
up.
kid.
I could never remember the name of it, and then one day I was just like, oh, what was that weird ass movie? And then I looked it up on the internet, and I was like, ah! I forgot it, and it like, all came rushing back. And
I like want to look at them again, but I don't.
No, dude.
Is it like looking at the boogeyman from Ghostbusters?
Dude, if you're listening right now, don't look it up, dude.
Don't do it.
Not safe for life.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna put the NSFL tag on this
On this podcast.
on this podcast.
Yeah.
Dude,
Um,
seriously.
Well, so the gameplay. I think we can all agree though. It's a pretty fun game, right?
Yeah, it's decent. Yeah, I mean, it's totally. There's some annoying things, but like,
Yeah.
it's a Nintendo game. It's not,
You know what I didn't discover until second dungeon? Jump yo-yo.
That's what I'm saying.
I was like,
Oh,
what?
really?
When I
Yo,
did
Jump
that?
Yo-Yo saves your life,
Dude,
man.
it's
Yeah, I didn't-
awesome.
Yeah.
Also, you know what I didn't discover till the second dungeon? Fuck those crocodiles. Those
No.
crocodiles Suck,
No, those
man.
aren't crocodiles. Those are Darwin fish.
Darwin, whatever.
That's-
Oh yeah, when they like charging.
They like,
Yeah.
dude.
I screamed that at myself.
Dude,
I
got rage. I felt it in me. I was like, "Fuck these
What
crocodiles."
the hell are you talking about?
There's little things in the second one when you jump on a platform and they crawl out of the water like little Darwin fish, and they're like,
Yeah,
and they like walk.
Oh yeah, they
across.
look like iguanas.
Yeah.
We all have different impressions of what they were.
Whatever.
Nick, what did you think they were?
I thought Darwin
Darwin
fish
fish.
too. I was like, oh, they evolved real quick.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm saying. Darwin fish, man. And then they do the double Darwin fish on you.
dude, that's
Where you
terrible.
kill one and then it's like, oh, Darwin fish from behind.
Yeah, you had me really confused by crocodiles. I was like, I don't remember any crocodiles, and I finished the second dungeon. I was like, what the shit,
Crocodile
man?
eat that dolphin.
Isn't a crocodile just a Darwin fish?
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, you're right.
Touche.
And then the little Octoroks are shooting
yeah.
shit at you.
Yeah.
Or not shooting shit at you, but like flying around. And then the huge Octorok comes out and starts
Yeah.
shooting at you, and you're like, this
You're
is
like, I
crazy.
want to kill this guy.
Yeah. Did you guys kill him? I didn't
killed
even
him
try.
once.
I didn't do it.
What do you
Once. You don't get anything.
You don't get anything for killing him?
You don't get anything for killing anybody except stars and hearts.
Yeah. And you know what's annoying
Is stars money?
is stars money?
Is that what that is?
money?
I don't know what that is.
You get
thought when
5 of them.
collected stars that it like refills your hearts.
Yeah, you get 5 and it refills a heart for you.
Well, that's cool.
And you always get them in bunches when you don't need them, and then
Yeah.
you're looking, and then
Yeah.
you're down to like half a heart, and you're like,
dude, I was down to half a heart in that first dungeon
beep?
at least 3 times.
and that
Yeah.
that beep is more horrifying than the Zelda beep.
Yeah.
Ugh, terrible.
horrifying or annoying.
Both.
It's less horrifying than the Ninja Turtles 1 beep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
was the
dude.
worst.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
fucking... I just killed 3 people by doing that. They just had seizures.
3 people were driving in their cars and
Like,
heard that, and were like,
Crash into the guardrail. Rest in peace, fans.
3 random internet nerds get killed in car accident because of
all
listening
3
to
of our
4
fans.
other internet nerds.
Listening to the Ring podcast.
so all I can imagine now that you say that is in Billy Madison, where the O'Doyles
O'Doyles.
hit the banana peel in a station wagon.
Dude, that joke, I watched that movie again recently. This is the slowest burn joke because they show that banana peel like 4 times in that movie.
They cut back to it like 3 or 4
so
times.
good.
And you're like, what the fuck is up with this banana peel?
Good ass joke, man.
Anyways, let's move on to graphics.
Graphics.
Graphics time.
That'll be the little bumper that
If
comes
we
up.
ever
Like,
make
let's
bumpers-
move into graphics.
Great.
Go, graphics.
Great. Sweet. Graphics.
There's a guitar. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not good. I'm
That's how you're going to pitch it to the guy that we're going to get to write those for us,
I'm
right?
like, I want it to be like a. I don't know. Do that.
So let's start with Luke.
Meh.
Not a fan?
That's what I have to say about the graphics. No,
Just
I'd
meh?
say it's a Nintendo game. Obviously, like
Oh, yeah.
nothing is
Yeah.
going to be amazing. I don't.
Well, did they remind you of anything?
You know, the game actually reminded me of this other Sega Master System game, and I can't remember if it was Glavelius or Chrysalis, but it was another. It was like the Genesis Zelda, which was like a top-down action RPG that had, when you get into the dungeons, it has that same feel and vibe, like even down to like the snakes. There was like all these snakes, and that was what the Master System
All these
thing
things.
had.
Snakes.
You know, it's not like crazy terrible, but
It reminded me a lot of Adventures of Link, where just when you're, it's not side view obviously, but like you look like a hunchback kind of. You kind of look like you got scoliosis or something.
no,
And
you
I don't know.
know who your character looks like when you're not like fat ice hockey player model.
Yeah. Dude, absolutely looks like ice hockey from above.
he looks like Paul Reiser.
Wow.
He's like
Aliens
he's-
Paul Reiser?
Yeah, like Aliens Paul Reiser with the crappy like Jerry Seinfeld haircut.
He still gets a check for being the body model.
Dude, I almost spit this delicious monster out all over the place.
That's a waste.
Dude, I actually kind of like the graphics. They were like simple and like everything was kind of like efficient. There was like the only kind of like extravagant like thing that they put in there was that pig butthole. But everything else was like utilized well, you know. I really liked when
That's what gave it the M rating.
first game to ever have an M rating.
Also, I like how your definition of extravagant is one pixel.
One pixel, one butthole.
That one extravagant pig butthole.
One cartoonized version of something that exists on every mammal on the planet.
You're like, you know what? Put it in there. But the game's gonna cost like $10 more. Doesn't matter. Put it in.
We'll pay the
We're
fine.
R&D when
fines.
we says goes.
No, but like the one thing I really liked about the graphics was like when you went into like a house or something. Like
Right.
it wasn't
Yeah.
just like a cut to like a new screen. It was like this
It moved.
transition.
Yeah.
And
That's,
then
it's kind of like Dragon Warriors, kind of like that.
yeah.
Yes.
It's
So like
Oh,
the space of the house was like occupied the same amount of space
On the screen.
overworld.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
That worked out.
Yeah,
I
it's-
love that
that's
part
cool.
of it.
Sean L wrote in saying that it reminded him of Dragon Quest.
The
1 a
overworld,
lot.
yeah, the overworld reminded me of that shit, and
Yeah.
I love those games, so I was in from then.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because you look at the sprites, and I had played the game before I read anything about it because I like to kind of surprise myself with the first at least hour or two. And I was like, oh, this reminds me of ice hockey. And I got like that nostalgic feeling just
Yeah.
looking at those characters.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, makes sense. I didn't even know this was made by Nintendo when I first played it.
Oh, really?
I was like, this is pretty good when I first played it. And then I was like, oh, it's made by Nintendo. So
That's why.
Explanation.
explanation. I really like the cutscenes, like where you talk to people.
Mhm.
Those
Oh,
are really
yeah.
good, like pixelized, like renderings.
That robot.
Oh, like the chief.
Like
Yeah,
the chief
yeah, yeah.
and the shaman, who's creepy as shit.
Oh,
that
dude,
shit.
she's got that hand that's just like,
Yeah,
I got a
it's like
pinky
animated,
out.
dude, it's all
She's
animated.
got like a pinky out and a thumb out, and it looks like she's got 3 fingers holding like a hot dog, and it's just
She
like,
looks like-
hovering. It's like, ah.
She looks like Snooki, like maloiking you.
Yeah, dude, she put the monolik on you.
Snooki
But it's like an
Aloha you.
aloha Malloy.
Yeah,
It's like,
like,
mahalo,
hang
motherfucker. Like,
You see, she's got that little monkey skull thing too. I'm like, you're a sociopath.
Yo, does she
I
have
know
monkey
it.
paw? This thing's grant wishes, man.
No, she's got a monkey skull because she murdered a monkey because she's a sociopath and
She
made a
murdered,
staff out of it.
Bobo or whatever his name is.
Babu.
Babu.
Babu's monkey.
Babu
Also-
in like whatever the hell island, Coca-Cola Island,
Coca-Cola
whatever the fuck this is.
Coca-Cola Island,
It means
yeah.
like great warrior or something. And we're like, Babu, you suck.
Great and wonderful warrior who saved many lives and is a hero on this island.
Babu, you fuck.
what's even scarier about that lady though is like the warrior guy lets you into that hut in the first island, right? And you go down the steps, and all of a sudden there's that lady at the bottom of the steps, and it's like an Evil Dead moment. Like Henrietta's under the steps, and you're like, oh shit, there's a crazy old lady down here. And then then she shows up later, like if you die too many times, she like pops up again. She's like, it's okay to start crying.
Yeah, it's just like, Jesus will save you.
She's kind of like the Coca-Cola Island version of the lady from Poltergeist.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
but don't do that. Don't do that.
Speaking of fat babies, that fucking lady,
Oh my god.
she's dead.
Really?
She's dead.
No, she's not dead.
That was so much.
Is she really dead?
I think so. I think she's dead.
She's dead.
She's dead.
Nicholas Case wrote in and said, the death music, the detailed shaman, and everything about the atmosphere of that game really gives me chills as a kid and still creeps me out.
Dude.
Couldn't agree with you more, Nicholas.
Yeah,
that
that's-
shit is scary.
The
And
only
now that I'm
thing-
going to read her voice like that,
Yeah.
like the poltergeist lady.
Mike Jones.
Mike Jones.
I totally get it. The only game that would scare me more would be that Friday the 13th movie.
Dude.
Or game, I'm
Dude,
sorry.
when
yeah,
Jason
man.
comes out,
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah.
dude, fuck that.
Yeah, we ain't playing that on this ever.
I'll never beat it. I close my eyes whenever Jason comes down. I ostrich as soon as Jason comes down there.
I just picture Paul just like, whoop! It's just like Paul's shoulders, his shirt, and no head. And then every once in a while, there's just like these eyes blink out.
pop out.
Blink, blink.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Well, that's what I do whenever the shaman lady comes on too. Thankfully, she's only there during nice times.
Oh my god.
Anyways, but yeah.
What if she's the? Wait a minute.
Oh,
All
God.
right.
What if she's
She's
the
Dr.
final
J.
boss?
Oh.
Don't. I would
I'm
never be able
calling
to beat this. I could never beat this game.
Calling
Yeah?
it right now. Final
All right.
boss. She's Shaman Lady's final boss.
Shaman.
I'm going to say she's Dr. J.
She's Dr. J.
She's your
maybe.
uncle.
She's your uncle. She's your uncle's grandfather.
Yep.
Oh man.
Let's real quickly. Let's just go over music. You know, I mean, it is what it is. But
A lot of times I don't listen to the music of the games. Actually, I just play music and then I turn it down real low. There were some transitions though where you're going into a place and it just looks, or the music gets all like dun 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 dun, dun, you know, or whatever.
Yeah,
you know
cool,
some shit's
exciting.
gonna happen. Yeah, but
Yeah,
the
some
boss
of the rooms,
music.
Yeah, like, but they aren't even boss. It isn't even boss music sometimes. Like, sometimes you just, like, go into a room and it's just like, oh, shit's gonna go down. And it's like 3 slugs.
a bat.
Slugs. Yo, how unfair is it? Going back to controls real quick. that the bats and those little spinner
That
things
can
can
move
move diagonal.
diagonally.
I'm like, what the
fuck
fuck?
that,
Get
dude.
out of here. 'Cause
That's
you're
what
trying to-
baseball bats for, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Swing
dude.
around.
Yeah.
That's what baseball is.
Swing away.
Baseball bat for bats.
I didn't even use it on them. I always say I have the too cool to use
Yeah.
thing
Yeah,
that
I'm
TV
all-
trope. I
yeah.
always use that.
Yeah.
That video game trope. I
it's true.
do it with all those items. But you do need those flame things for that snake balls because
Yeah.
that really helps.
I
you
was
don't.
down to my last
You
one.
don't, but you do.
Dude, it's
you don't.
with the yo-yo.
Looks
did
like
you
a
do it
card
with
as
that
shit.
thing? With the,
Yeah, I just did it with the yo-yo.
How did
Yeah.
you do that?
You stand in front of
You
him.
jump
like an
over the
Iron
fire?
No,
Man.
you stand on that thing right in front of him because he doesn't hit you unless it's with fire.
Right.
And then every time he opens his mouth, you jump no matter what because then the fire comes out. And then you can hit him like 2 times. Then you jump again. And then
You're like the Bear Grylls of fighting that boss.
not really. I was just
Piss on
like,
that
I was
snake.
just like, I was just like, you're an 8-bit boss in an action RPG. Here we go. Stand in front of you. Attack. Done.
This kid's smarter than
I
a
got your
computer.
pattern. I got your number, bro. I'm like Crockett Antubs.
Oh my god. Dude, it's so crazy.
Our show has great references.
Seriously.
But back to the music. Yeah, I mean, it's it kind of reminded me of Pokemon for a second.
I agree.
As soon as I heard it,
Yeah.
it's like that happy, upbeat, like super like saccharine music. And it's passable. I'm with you, Josh. And for most games,
Most games I do that.
if there's no like if the sound is not integral to the game, I usually eventually turn it off and play.
Well,
my music.
there's a point of diminishing returns with a Nintendo game
Right.
when it comes to music.
Yeah.
Eventually, you just want to murder or something.
Yeah.
You don't want to listen to it anymore.
right.
So
Yeah,
I
in
think
fact, oh god,
God.
no god.
I think we come from like a different generation of like video game players because like for me that's what it was always about. It was like, hey, I got this new tape or this new CD. I'm gonna
Yeah.
put it on while I play this game. So much so that I think Josh, you and I were talking about this where we can like equate like a certain album with a certain game. Like
Right.
I can think of like fucking. When I was in fucking middle school, I was like, I'm gonna put on Metallica's Ride the Lightning and play fucking Link to the Past.
That
'cause
sounds
it's all-
sweet.
Dude, it worked out pretty nicely.
What time did you start it? So that like,
sync it up.
did
No,
you,
dude,
did you
just-
sync it up at like chapter 2
put
and
that
then like
shit on
Dark
loop.
World?
dude, I had a 3-disc CD changer. So
Oh, dude, the
I
tunes
got
never
3
stopped.
options.
You
Wow,
were like,
you were rich.
Ride the lightning.
I was gonna say
And justice for all.
Yeah.
And that other album that I
and
can't
fuel.
And fuel.
think. No, it's called Load. It was
Load,
called
Load.
That's right, but it had the song.
It was called, it was called Load. You know.
Oh, the Semen Blood album.
Yeah, Semen Blood album. Yep.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
The cover
cover
art
of the
was
album.
Blood and Semen.
Was it?
Yeah, that's like a picture of it.
Oh, Jesus,
Yeah.
that's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're like, oh, this is really cool. It looks like fire and shit. And then you're
like,
like,
no.
it's just like a slide of blood and semen together
Yeah.
on a microscope.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
like in
so it was
that,
just a microscopic view.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
well,
wow.
not like
It's-
microscopic
it's
view. It's
zoomed
just
in.
like zoomed
Yeah.
in.
Right.
Close up.
but that's like in that Nine Inch Nails video, Closer.
Yeah.
Those sperms like swimming around are Trent Reznor's.
Yeah.
Ah,
Interesting.
I think Cannibal Corpse has a song called "Blood in My Cum."
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You should go to the doctor.
Yeah, if that
That's not a
happened-
good sign.
No,
that's
it's like a
never
jelly
a good
donut.
sign.
Well, we earned our explicit rating this week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Some kid's gonna look up Jelly Donut and be like, I wonder what that's all about.
Oh god.
Whoops.
Made some kid a man.
All right,
It's not like I told him to look up Goatsy.
look up Goatsy if you
Not
haven't
like we
seen
told
it.
them to look up Blue Waffle.
LemonParty.com.
Here's the best part about this podcast. We're like, hey, two fucking fat babies from a movie from the 80s. Don't look that up ever. But look up all this other fucked up shit.
look up the gaping butthole on the internet.
The grossest vagina ever.
Oh, man.
Well, good game, guys. Good podcast.
Continue.
Let's do final impressions.
Okay.
So final impressions. We'll start with Luke.
Final first impressions?
Yeah, initial feelings. I'm sorry.
My initial feelings on the game are I'm not that into playing much more because this game is boring as shit to me. No, I'm not. I understand. There's like with anything from that time period. If you played it when you were growing up, you're like,
Right.
oh yeah, remember this game? This game was awesome. But like playing it now for the first time, I just don't get the hype. Even though I love baseball and I'm playing as Mike Jones, all-star pitcher, I feel like my talents could be utilized better elsewhere
Like
than
in a baseball
like in a
game.
baseball game. But obviously, I'm gonna keep playing because it's not terribly long. So maybe it gets a little bit better after the second dungeon. Like I said, I didn't want to play too far
Right.
into the game because we just want to give first third of the book,
Yeah.
kind of deal. So
Absolutely.
hopefully things shape up where there's some really hilarious moments and bad, translations coming up to break up the monotony of screen sliding and foot pedal stomping.
Yep.
I feel like I'm in, Jimmy Page, like, boom, hit the fucking wham pedal. Like, all right.
Wham pedal.
Pick me up.
Hit the old wham pedal.
Yeah, gotta hit that shit.
Go ahead, Nick.
I'm enjoying this a lot. It's kind of like right up my alley. Like I agree, it is like the same thing over and over again. But for me, each of those dungeons, there's like something new that's like kind of fun to try and figure out, which is nice. I'm interested to see where it goes. I definitely want to get Dr. J back because it's important. I like that like they're like, I think in the note it's like Dr. J has been kidnapped by evil aliens.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I mean, aside from them like kidnapping him, you don't really know that they're evil. So I mean,
maybe they're feeding him like tea and crumpets.
Yeah,
who are they to impart
I know
judgment like
and if you
that?
were smart and if you were like, well, my uncle's a scientist, so he's probably like a curious guy. So
Yeah.
maybe they didn't kidnap him. Maybe he just like went along willingly. You know?
Yeah.
But it's probably not.
Yeah,
the
but then
Like
he
case.
gives
in
you that-
Third, Close Encounters, maybe he was like,
Like-
I'm leaving.
I just hope it's not like Fire in the Sky.
Yeah,
please.
that would
That's
be
all.
bad.
That's all I hope.
Or that other alien movie with the alien owl.
What?
The new movie.
Talking about Twin Peaks?
Yeah.
What, with
Alien
Mila
Al.
Jovovich?
Yeah, that movie.
The fourth kind
The
or
fourth
something
kind.
like that?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Anyway.
I mean, the Mothman prophecies. Basically.
Butterfly effect?
Yeah. I would like this to be the first game that I beat for the podcast because it's super
I'd like it
quick.
to be the only game that I'd be for
Right.
the
I'd like it
podcast.
to be the only game, yeah. I mean, it's alright, it's fun. There's some frustrating things, though, like the crocodiles. So I need to conquer my fear of them and just, soldier on. So that's what I'll do. I'm going to beat this game.
Good British attitude there.
Oh, thanks.
I agree. I'm sort of with Luke in that there's nothing really drawing me to play it a lot. I'm not like, yeah, I'm excited to play this again. And I really hope that we get a game that does that because Shadowrun didn't do it for me either.
Yeah.
But I like it a lot more than Shadowrun, and I'm not dreading going back to play it like I kind of did with Shadowrun.
Yeah,
after I
Shadowrun, I think we were all kind of like, God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here
because
we go.
Shadowrun's like, let me put on this blindfold, let me put on these like fucking earmuffs, and numb every piece of my body and try and find my way through something.
Right.
That
yeah.
game was like when you were a kid and you had a sleepover, you put your sleeping bag on and you spin around in a circle for 20 minutes and then you try to find your way around the room. That's what Shadowrun was.
No.
And then you found a pig's butthole.
And then
Down that big
then you
butthole.
knew where you were.
Yeah. And you're like, I'm home.
I am home.
This feels like home.
You were in the Chitlin room.
So we're all gonna keep going, obviously, and hopefully, there's some major turns,
Yeah.
and we'll see where this thing goes. But
There's an exciting part coming up, which is actually really cool.
Don't fucking tell me.
No, I'm not gonna tell you,
No
but like,
spoilers, bro.
it's one of those things. Like, it's something that like you needed the original for.
Oh, I know about this already.
Yeah, I'm just giving you a heads up. There's gonna be something you're like, what
Right,
the fuck
right.
does that mean? You might have to look it up because the game came with this thing that like helped you solve this one puzzle coming up. And for me, that's a really interesting part of the game. But
Yeah.
whatevs.
Okay.
Whatevs.
Okay.
Oh, you mean like how in Metal Gear you get Meryl's phone number by looking on the back of the box?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is the first game to do something like that. I'm gonna say first, like I fucking know, but whatever.
It's literally
Yeah,
the
correct
first
me,
easy.
internet. I
Easy.
dare you.
Don't coop it.
Six try it.
Six try it.
So we're gonna end it on that. I want to thank again our fans that wrote in. A lot of fans did, but I'm going to specifically thank the ones that we used in the show: Shane, Riley, Renato, Colt, Sean, Liam, Nicholas, and Christopher. Thanks again for all
Good
your thoughts,
comments.
for your
Thank
good
you.
comments. And there were a ton of other guys and girls that gave us. There were no girls. I'm lying. That gave us. I mean, there might have been girls. But that gave us comments. But what did you want to say?
I was
Luke?
going to say it's tough to tell on the internet.
It is tough to tell.
Until YouTube enacts their new real names only policy.
Which is coming. Trolls, watch out.
Yep.
But yeah, save those ones that you didn't get a chance to read. Maybe read them on the next one.
Yeah, I got plenty, and they'll all be there, and we'll see if I get to use any of those other ones because there was a lot of good stuff. And again, guys, if you're listening, write in, continuepodcast@gmail.com, or come on Facebook and leave us a post on our wall, or leave a post in the YouTube comments. Warning: YouTube comments go by really fast. Sometimes we don't get to see all of them. Just you might want to do a heads up, and do it on one of those other media
Yeah,
gonna
if
do
you have something that really
outlets.
important you want to say and get it to us, the email is the best way to do that. So continuecast@gmail.com.
Yeah. Did I say continue? No, it's continuepodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, I'm sorry, continuepodcast.
Continuepodcast@gmail.com. Yes. Right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You can never remember our own
Continue
email.
podcast.
Dude, I've got so many emails.
I know. And I also want to take a moment out to thank, we got a nice amount of 5-star reviews on our iTunes page. So many that I'm not going to read all of them today, but I'm going to go through and I'm going to read 5 of them real quick. First one is Gunnar Toland. He said, "This show is an epic maneuver."
Yeah.
True fact.
True fact. Second is by, this is a tough name, Hiro Egao.
Hero ago.
He said Return of Dom. It would be cool to see Dom on the podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll happen.
Maybe
one
that'll
day.
be something.
Downvote.
Next is by Goodly Mike. He just said, "Awesome. I love what I'm hearing. Keep it up."
Thanks.
Thank you, Goodly Mike. And then this guy, they RJD to one another. I don't
Wow.
know. That sounds dirty.
That sounds very sexual.
He said he's excited, and he said, "Hope did some good stuff. Rating 5 stars before listening to the first one." Thank you for that blind faith.
Yeah.
Were you disappointed?
I hope
Next
we did.
comment is from that same guy. Not so good.
1 star. I hate you all. If I could give you 0 stars, I would. He didn't say that. I wish he did, though. Alberto Ramirez wrote in and said, "Awesome. I enjoyed the podcast and hope you guys keep up with it for a long time." He didn't say those last words. I paraphrased.
Someone's gonna fucking fact check your 5-star readings.
I
right
know.
now.
It's the person that went to journalism school that's just making sure that I note paraphrase. I don't want to get in trouble for libel, guys.
Dude, you're not using MLA format to cite that shit. Get the fuck out.
And we'll read some more. Hey, guys, it really helps us out when you leave us reviews, when you rate it on iTunes, and when you also pass it around to people you know. So please do that. Be sure to do that. And, share the YouTube page. And, like I said, go on iTunes and do that stuff.
Yeah, and if you dig our podcast, our regular show on YouTube is a lot of fun too. It's youtube.com/ContinueShow. In it, we play games for half an hour. We decide whether we would keep playing and give it a continue or never play it again and game over. And it's goofy and fun and kind of dumb, so you'll kind of like it.
You would like it.
We say poop a lot.
And also be sure to check out Luke at thequarterbin.com. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I read your Batman review. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many spoilers.
The spoiler free. Yeah, dude,
I'm just
that
kidding.
review was so hard to write.
Dude, I can't
Well, I-
imagine
dude, I-
how
It was
you even do that.
literally like the danciest review. Like,
Yeah.
then
Action.
this was good. Like, yeah, I was like,
Give us an overview of the Quarterbin real quick. You'll do it
Yeah.
best, just for the people listening.
well, yeah. For those of you who don't know, the Quarterbin is a comic and geek website where we basically just talk about whatever the hell I want. It's where we post all of our original videos, and we do movie reviews, action figure reviews, comics. We talk about whatever whenever we have the time, and stop by and visit sometime.
Excellent.
That was so homely. That was
Excellent.
a homely
Come
invite.
on down.
You're like the Colonel Sanders of
internet.
You're like the Adobo, whatever his name was in the game. Whatever.
What?
His uncle's
That's
Babu.
Like the adobo seasonings.
I know. I was like, that's something delicious on chicken.
You're like those Adobe huts that those engines laid in.
You're like Adobe Photoshop.
Always there when you need a dick in your mouth.
And that's it. Thanks for listening to another episode of Continuecast, guys. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you for listening to the Continuecast. Our theme music is written and performed by Chris Connolly, aka DataCats. Check out his Facebook page at facebook.com/DJCats8bit. The Continuecast is produced by Paul Ritchie, Nick Murphy, Josh Henderson, and our special guest, Luke Brown. Email us at continuepodcast@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/ContinueShow, and follow us on Twitter at ContinueShow.
I got my kid's name on the devil's dick.
This is gonna all make great after this outro song, Philip.